Jimmy.
What?
You still have that shirt?
What shirt?
The one in the picture that you're looking at.
Of course he does.
Yeah, I do.
Not the Naughty by Nature shirt in the background.
With the chest hair exposing when Mike's. Yeah, I think I do.
Mine's
I
got a
almost
pizza
spit my drink
stand.
out.
Hold on. I'll look at something up.
What happened?
Man.
Hey, we're
Go and
starting
get
the
shirt
show.
on.
Everybody scatters.
I think we're live now.
We're live.
Cool. Live.
Do we get intro music tonight, Johnny?
No.
No, I think we're gonna
No, I didn't have time to make a video.
Oh, that's all right. That's all
We'll
right.
do our own.
I don't know where it is.
What?
Welcome back.
I have no idea where the shirt was, but I don't.
Oh, I wasn't
Okay.
asking you to get it. I was just.
Oh,
Watch, have a seat. We're live, Jimmy. Say hi to everyone.
hello.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Gizmachi Takeover. It's been 15 long, arduous years since the release of the imbuing. Now Gizmachi has returned,
And old.
and they're a
That's
lot
right.
older.
A lot
With
better.
their,
Oh yeah.
with their blistering new single, Broken Ends, off the upcoming album, Omega Collide, which will be out to the masses on March 12th. Gentlemen, I use that term loosely. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Hey now.
Well, we have Jay. I don't know if the channel members know this guy. Jay is on the show all the time.
Sometimes.
On the top right, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Jimmy Hatcher.
Good
On the
evening.
bottom left, your left, my right, we have Mike Balls. And then we have Chris Gilmore, bass player. Mike is the guitarist. Chris bass, Jay
Yay.
skin flute and guitar, and Jimmy does the drums. We'll get a little later into more of the vocals with Mike.
Well, you forgot. I was going to say you forgot Mike also.
Yeah, Mike-
More importantly, no, I'm joking. Sings. So there you go.
Yep.
I sing a little on the album, man.
And then, so people in the chat, welcome. If you have questions for these guys, we're going to be playing their song a little later in the show, but we're going to talk about the release of the single. So, guys, how does it feel to have your first song out in 15 years? Tell us everything.
Well, pick somebody. Otherwise, either everybody's going to talk or nobody's going to talk.
Let's start with Jimmy. Jimmy, how do you feel?
Kind of a bitch. Feel fat. That's pretty cool. When did we finish the drums for it? 1998 or something. It's been a while. So, better late than never,
Right.
as they say. Yep.
So you're excited though? You're glad it's out?
Yeah, I mean, I figured we might as well get it out before one of us dies or something. So, it's pretty cool. Yeah. Or before I'm in a wheelchair. So, yeah, it worked out. It came out pretty good.
Good man.
So,
Yeah. Gilmore, how do you feel?
I think it turned out awesome. I'm proud of what it is. I'm happy it's out now, and we got it out as soon as we could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike?
I'm pumped, I've been looking forward to this day for a long time. Very long time.
Good.
Good to finally be out, at least have one song out,
Definitely.
Got to wait a few more months for the whole thing, but, hey, a few more months after 15 years, it's light at the end of the tunnel, right?
Just a tip.
Just the tip.
The shaft is coming.
Yeah.
That's
Just
right.
Coming a little bit. I know Jay and I talked about it. We talked about it on our shows, but Jay, how do you feel?
What? What was the
How do you
question?
feel? How excited are you about having the song out?
I feel really good about it. It's a strange thing. I mean, this album was. I mean, if you go back on YouTube, there's a video of me and Mike sitting there talking about how the album tentatively will be out in 2007, like February of 2007 was the original planned like release or so. It was something around there.
Weren't you rocking the Walter Payton jersey in that video?
Damn right I was. And if I'll say this, the fact that this album is coming out now as opposed to back then, I think it actually benefits the whole thing, because I think now the way the album is and it's finished, it's way better than it would have been back then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Why? Is it because of the producer?
Of course. No. No, multiple reasons. I mean, a lot of these songs were, and we'll get into this obviously, but a lot of these songs were written back then. You know, there was maybe a riff that was rewritten when we were tracking the rhythm guitars, and that was back in 2010 we tracked the rhythm guitars. But other than that, I mean, those songs were written back then. Maybe some arrangements might have switched around and, you know, maybe double the chorus or something. You know, in Pro Tools you go in there and you move stuff, but I mean, these songs were written back then, man. 06, 05, 06, 07.
Okay.
Yeah.
Parts from 03, 01 even. Like, it's a bunch of stuff that didn't make the imbuing is on there. You know, just certain parts of certain songs.
Yeah.
Right. When discussing each song on this album, why'd you guys release Broken Ends as the first single? We'll go with Gilmore. Why did you want to go with this song first?
Yeah, really, it's a nice reintroduction for us. You know, it's an easier to listen to song. The opening line, "We're breaking the silence now." You know, that all played a big factor in why we chose the song. And then you got the kick-ass middle. You know, us just opening it up a little bit and showing you what we could do. So it was a good reason to choose that song.
Yeah. What about you, Mike? You agree?
Yeah, it's more of a 4/4. You know, it's pretty straightforward for us. You know, the riff. You know, I wrote. Jimmy liked the riff. I didn't even really care for it. I didn't even think it was like a riff that really was like our stuff. You know, it didn't really sound like a lot of the other stuff we did. But Jimmy really liked it.
Is this the intro riff?
From there.
Yeah, the opening riff. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. What about you, Jimmy? How do you feel? Is this the first salvo of Omega Clyde?
I think it's a good one. It's probably the most upbeat, I guess, song on the album. Not tempo wise, but like, you know,
A little happy.
Yeah, a little bit, very majory. Yeah, it's a dope ass song. So that helps out too. And yeah, this is one of my top 3 choices if that had to be the first one. Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. And Jay and I again have talked about it. What about you, Jay? Why this song first for you?
I think it's the most we haven't been in any kind of light in the past basically 14 years.
Right.
A lot of people have forgotten about us, you know, like whenever any kind of news comes out, it's like, well, I remember those guys. That was, a long time ago. And I think it might be the most like I guess not tangible song. What's the word I'm looking for?
Accessible.
Accessible or digestible song to hear right off the bat. But at the same time, like I think Chris mentioned, the bridge section, it really kind of brings in everything that we kind of do, and it shows all the stuff that we do. And it's just that to me, like I remember when we were like recording the song and stuff, it sounded like a first single of an album. So, and Chris is right. That whole breaking the silence now, it's like, yeah, we're coming back.
Not to get near Jay's wiener, but his guitar playing in this song is the shit too. They did a really good job, like all the leads and whatnot.
You've been close to it a few times, so let's not say it hasn't.
He also paid me to say that, but that's fine too.
Sure. I know I've said it a few times, but I think for this album, this song is definitely the best representation of what this album is. So it's got elements of everything in this song. So I agree. I think this is the best song to start off with. So well done. And congratulations, guys. It's Song's awesome. I've been looking on YouTube, seeing some reactions. It's pretty amusing. People are like, man, I haven't seen these guys in 14 years. Like, where've they been? So where?
Well, hold on. Before you get to that, I got a funny story about the whole 14-year thing. I recently ordered a guitar from Sweetwater, right? And I don't want to say anybody's name over there, but they're all great. So I was talking to somebody from the guitar production or guitar department or something, like one of the managers over there. And we were going over some things about a guitar, and he's looking at my account and he's like, you know, I'm not normally supposed to do this or talk about this, but he goes, I saw you guys on Ozfest in 2005 in Indiana. I was like, really? He's like, yeah, man. He's like, you know, blah, blah, blah. So we started shooting shit about that. It was just cool. Like, he's like, I had no idea that you guys were coming back, you know, back with a record, and, you know, super cool. But it's weird to see that, you know, 15 years, but it's like, hey, you know, it's officially official now.
Right.
Yeah.
So every decade and a half, you guys are going to release the album. So where have you been? Gilmore, tell us what you've been doing. Tell the masters.
I've been sleeping most of the time, you know, sleeping and working.
Golfing?
Oh, yeah. Well, I only started taking up golf 2 years ago. So, yeah, that took over the past 2 years.
Hell yeah.
Oh, so that's why the album didn't come out after 13 years. It's because you golfing.
Hey, you know, bigger things come along.
I'm gonna track this bass. No, I got balls to crush, man.
And
That's
suck.
it. Crush.
Hey, Jay, was it Nick at Sweetwater? Mike Hunt?
I was just about to answer that. No, it wasn't Nick. It wasn't Nick.
Okay. Mike, where have you been the last 15 years? What have you been doing with yourself? Been writing more?
I've been in the pool industry. Doing everything you could think of in that area, you know.
Like making like the tables and the cues and stuff.
Yeah, no, working for the, you know, the rich people and their big pools.
Servicing.
Service. I'm a service guy now, and I've been doing my own music a little bit, you know. But I'm trying to get that together.
Is it a solo album we have going on here?
Yes, it is. That'll be out soon enough too.
He's leaving the band.
Finally finishing that up. I started that in 2008, and yeah, it's almost done now.
Nice. So you can be leaving Gizmachi to pursue your own career in solo?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Good. Jimmy, besides growing that dope ass beard, what else you been up to?
That's pretty much about it. What have I been doing? I work at FedEx. Oof, that's real bad. Let me tell you. Yeah, that sums it up. Yeah, I don't know. Getting fatter, and my haircut's getting cooler. But you know, other than that, not a whole hell of a lot. Yeah, pretty much.
Hitting 40.
Oh yeah, 40 now. Ugh. Yep.
Damn.
Right behind. I'm the only one left in my 30s here.
Yeah, Jay's gonna be 50 next year. He's yeah.
Oh, man.
And Jay, besides being on the Johnny Bean Network on Saturday nights and Friday nights, what else you been up to?
Well, Brian, I'm glad you asked.
Oh no.
Put it away.
I feel like I haven't done anything except for, you know, start a little family, and that's basically what you know, runs my day, which is fine with me. So, but it's cool to it's just weird. I was talking to Jeannie about that a couple nights ago, and I was like, because she asked me, she was like, how's it feel that the song is out and, you know, then the album's coming out? And I was like, it's weird. It's like part of me is excited and another part of me is like, doesn't feel anything. And I was like, maybe because, you know, that's not the main thing like in our lives right now. Is the main focus. And maybe I shouldn't be saying this on the air, and I don't want to speak for anybody else, but, you know, back when we were like in our 20s, recording the first album and getting signed and going on tour and stuff like that was that was the only thing that mattered at the time to us.
Yep.
And now, Mike has a kid. I got 2 kids. Jimmy's probably got about 7 or 8 that he doesn't know about. It's a different thing, It's
Sure is.
Yeah. Different thing. But it's still awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, real quick question. Chris Bevan asks if you use any of your new Ibanez guitars on the new recordings.
Every Ibanez, this one is on it. This one I got at the end of the recording of like solos and overdubs. So this is on a couple tracks. I don't really remember what it was on, but all the rhythm guitar tracks were recorded with the black and green one. I don't know if you can see it. The second one in the rack right there behind the gem. That's all the rhythms were recorded with that guitar. So me and Mike switched. We both used the same axe for all the rhythms. So.
Oh, okay. Mike, do you have Universe as well?
No, I got.
No, that's why he didn't use his own guitar.
Yeah, I got this. RG.
Let me see the body.
Ooh.
Pop that shirt off.
Don't hit the fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
This is my original here. This is the one Jay ran over with his car.
Yep.
Back in '99.
Really?
Yes, I did.
It was in the case, and he ran over the supported part of the neck up here somewhere. I got like some gouges in the frets. But basically, it looked like how Jay's frets look before he has to change them because he like grinds the hell out of the string into the frets. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I remember that like it was 20 minutes ago. I really do, man.
Yeah, that was a crazy one.
We're leaving band practice, and was it me and I think your brother was there. He was in the car, and we were waiting, and you were like you put your guitar like either behind my car or in front of it.
It was in front.
In front of it.
Right in front of the passenger side front tire. Like standing up on its side in front of the bumper.
So you were in the driveway probably shooting the shit, and I think I was just gonna move up to the edge of the driveway so you didn't have, and next thing you know, and I was like, I think I turned around and said to Tom in the back seat, I just ran over your brother's guitar. You did? Then I got out and Mike comes over, and before I open the case, and before I even like look at it, I grab it. I'm like, oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Look, it's fine. Like 2 seconds of looking at it. Yeah.
I can't believe
no stress cracks. Yeah, it's all right.
I can't believe it wasn't like this,
Yeah, ran over that slightly supported part of the neck though, the part like where the little piece flies up on the cases.
Mm-hmm.
So if you ran over like towards the middle of it, yeah, that would have been. It probably would have been a crack.
Oh yeah.
Or shattered.
So real quick before we go any further, there's one thing we didn't do, and this is my fault, so I apologize, Johnny. We need to bring on the producers of the show, because if it wasn't for these people, we wouldn't be here tonight. So the executive producers on the Johnny Bean TV networks, we got Chuck Green, Joe Christian, Wayne O.A., Thomas Santiago, Music Therapy Laz, Ben Tom, Mike Neese, Frank Corcoran, Michael Smith. Where's Jay? The captain? There you go.
Captain, Mike, captain.
Jesus. David Ennis, Dan Halen, and Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael.
Become a channel member. Click the join button. Do it now. Gilmore, balls, touch it, feel it, become a member.
A Nobby member.
Oh, yeah.
So thanks, Johnny. Sorry about that. Just want to make sure we got that in. Because if it wasn't for those guys, we wouldn't be here, So
that's right.
All right. Getting back to it. So obviously there's a little difference in the lineup for vocals. Who do you guys have singing mainly on this album? We'll go with Jimmy. Who's the singer on this album? Who we got?
On what was it? Track 3 through 8. My dad actually. Shit, pretty good. Kevin Malky does a couple rap songs. We got the man Bjorn Strid from Sweden, and yeah, God, he's been like my favorite singer since 1998.
And what band is Bjorn?
Chaos album.
Can you let everyone know what band he's in?
Usually from Soilwork. He's got a bunch of other stuff going on. Night Flight Orchestra and what's that Italian death metal band he's sang in?
Please don't take off your stilettos.
That's a great song. What the hell? I can't remember the name of the band. Disharmonia Mundi. They're pretty good too.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, he's the man.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
So you guys have Bjorn Strid.
Oh, and Mike. Yeah.
On an album with Mike.
Yep.
Mike, how does it feel to sing on a song with someone the caliber of Bjorn?
Feels awesome. You know, like hearing his stuff laid down, you know, even some of the parts that he sang are some parts that I wrote. So hearing him do my parts and then singing with him, you know, is really cool. You know, like most of the stuff like that he sings though, like he wrote, you know, it's his stuff. But just, you know, being able to hear my voice with his and the way it was mixed in, you know, by Mark Lewis, the guy that did our album, you know, the mixing and mastering. And I did a good job, you know. Everything sounds real clean. It's good.
Yeah. Gilmore, how does it feel to have Bjorn on your song?
It's awesome. You know, we toured with them on Ozfest, and they killed it. You know, Bjorn's a great singer, so to have him on our stuff, it's really just an honor. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I know, what was it, 3-4 years ago? And I think Jay called me. And he's like, what do you think if Bjorn sang on a Gizmachi album? So after I had to clean up my
all I heard on the phone was zipper bust. And then
so when
and then
Jay said that,
it's gone. Huh?
and then we both put our phones to our no, I'm joking.
It's true. But when Jay told me that, I was just pumped to hear you guys to be on a song with, or an album with Bjorn. And he was real receptive of it. Right, Jay?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think Jimmy contacted him first, and then asking Jimmy to have like a back and forth through email with somebody is just sometimes you're asking too much. You know, I'd ask questions. Well, what did he say about this? Or did you mention that? And Jimmy's like, oh, no, I forgot. Or no, I'll email him again. And then finally I was like, can you just give me his email address? I'll take care of it.
Yeah, the truth was I wasn't going to offer any sexual favors, but that's why Jay had to step in and really
step in real hard.
The bonding there. Yeah. Gingerly touching tips, and then that was it. Sealed the deal.
True. Anytime that Jay touches tips, it's definitely on. So
yeah, the album is done right then and there.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. And
well, I mean, Jimmy mentioned it. It's been one of Jimmy's, if not Jimmy's favorite singers or metal singers for a long time. I mean, when you hear Soilwork, that's the driving force in that band is his voice.
Yeah.
And I got a message from somebody today who was in one of the bands that we played with locally in the New York area. And he messaged me and said, the new song, dude, rips. And he said something like, it still sounds like Gizmachi with Bjorn singing. It doesn't sound like Soilwork or a different band. He said, it still sounds like you guys, just with Bjorn singing. And that's cool when that happens. Cause I mean, Bjorn has such an identifiable voice.
Yeah.
The second you hear his voice, you're like, you know exactly who it is. And
yep.
To hear that was like, that's like one of the best compliments I've ever gotten about our music. When somebody else comes in and sings and it still sounds like your band, that's a cool thing.
Absolutely. Have you guys looked at any of the comments yet on YouTube?
YouTube. Now, who uploaded on YouTube anyway? We got
I think the Orchard.
Oh, the Orchard did. Oh, so I was going to say, well, we got to call our lawyers.
They actually uploaded it prior to the single hitting. So it was like Thanksgiving night. So, yeah. I didn't want to tell you then because I didn't want you to shit your pants. So, but if you go on YouTube and look, there's some comments. It sounds like Soilwork vibes. So It's pretty cool.
Can't beat that.
No, that's definitely a compliment. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What happened?
So Jim or Jay, sorry, when you were getting some feedback from Bjorn on the song and on the album, and he said it was very difficult to put his lyrics to, put in vocals to, right? What else did he say about it?
He said it sucked, and we were gonna have to pay him extra. No, he because he would send back. He would do one song at a time, and the second single that's coming out in January. What's the name of it again?
Look What I've Become.
Look What I've Become is going to be the second single. I don't even know the names of our songs.
L-Whip.
That's the first one he sent back, and the excitement level was like, oh my God, because it's going to happen, right? Everything was like laid out and taken care of. He's going to sing the record, and you're like, wow, right before I pushed play, I'm thinking to myself, it's like, what if this sucks? Like, what if it's like, oh my God, what are we going to do?
Right.
And then the second I pushed play and the second his vocals came in, Jeannie and I just looked at each other and we were both like,
fuck.
Yes. Yeah. Oh no. Now we're both like, this album is going to just completely exceed any of our imaginations of what it could have become.
Yep.
Could have become without him. So
right.
It was cool. But yeah, he said it was a lot of the parts. I mean, if anybody's heard our music before, there's a lot of odd time signatures and crazy rhythms happening. And you really have to know the parts inside and out before you get them. And then laying down vocals to that stuff, it's not easy, man. Especially when we're not there to kind of like, hey, this riff kind of does this, it turns around here, or, maybe follow the snare drum here or follow the guitars. Like the only thing we would do is when he sent us back a song with the vocals, for the most part, everything was great, but, especially Mike, because, obviously he's singing on there too. So he would have some little things like, hey, can you ask him to try this idea for this part, or maybe extend this scream, or just little things like that. But he was very open to trying anything. He never was like, come on, guys, He was very open to trying anything. And in the end, I mean, when everybody hears the record, it's he busted his butt on it, and we think he completely just killed it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Very pro.
Yeah.
So right now we have 1,400 people watching. No, I'm joking. But if you're watching, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, please. Mike, real quick, tell us about the lyrics on this song, on Broken Ends.
Well, altogether, the album, lyrically, it's very open-ended stuff. We don't really like having stuff being like pertaining to any one subject matter. So with this song, it's like, I guess it's like it being like in a bad situation, not being able to, have an escape, just feeling like you're stuck. It's kind of like at least a lot of my parts, that would be the subject. But then like Bjorn, really made it very open-ended, which is kind of what we were looking for him to do. So yeah.
When you wrote the lyrics, you had your stuff done prior to Bjorn finishing his vocals, correct?
Yeah.
Did you have discussions with him about what you were thinking lyrically, what you wanted to get across, or you just sent it to him and said, go at it?
Nah, it's pretty cool because he wrote around, the stuff that I had written, and it's all cohesive. It makes sense. It's not like when he's singing, it's like, okay, he's talking about something, and then he's talking about something else. Like, what's going on? And or if it is, it's like I'm talking about something, and it's like a answer back sort of thing, like two different people, kind of, having a conversation. So
right.
It worked out great. He did a real good job. Love his lyrics on the album.
And
it's very open-ended. It could pertain to anything.
So not only lyrically what he did, but vocally, are you happy with how he worked with what you had?
Oh, hell yeah. Definitely.
you ever sit there and when you got it back, you're like, man, I wish he did this? Anything like that? Any critiquing?
No, well, anything that he was doing a little weird, we kind of, just had him like try something different. And usually the second thing that he would send back to us was like, he nailed it.
Yeah.
So, that was pretty cool. Yeah. Good job. Came out good.
Definitely.
Yeah. And Mike's right. Like that's been kind of been the idea our whole career as far as lyrics goes. I mean, I personally, if I hear a song, right, and I have no idea what the lyrics are about, you apply it to what's going on in your life. A song sometimes will hit you and you're like, oh man, like, wow. You listen to it, you're like, wow, that really ties in for whatever. And then the singer will do an interview and be like, yeah, I wrote that song. Me and so-and-so were going to an ice cream shop and I saw the something. And you're like, what? That song's about going to an ice cream shop? Really? And it kind of ruins it. So to what Mike said, I mean, we kind of like to let the lyrics, I'm trying to say this, let you decide what the lyrics mean to you.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. The Jay, when you were getting back, because you produced the album, so I want everyone to know, Jay produced this. When you were working with Bjorn, did any song in particular that he had to change a lot, or when you received it, you're like, this is perfect?
To be honest, Mike was the one who had the most, and we kind of wanted it this way. Mike was the one who had the most input in what Bjorn was sending back, and kind of like, obviously we'd get on the phone and stuff and be like, hey, this part right here, and if Jimmy or Chris had kind of like, this thing was a little weird here, but Mike really, he's a singer as well, so I wanted him to kind of take the reins on any kind of direction that Bjorn took. There's only one song.
Yeah, it was Trick My Soul.
Yeah.
That song in particular, when Bjorn gave us his first take of that one, he was doing some weird stuff on that one. And we were like, I don't know, but we all felt that way, like right away. Pretty much we all had the same opinion about a lot of different things, like, with as far as what he was giving us back, and we had him redo it, and then he came back with something like what we were looking for. And it's like, there it is. It didn't take much, but like he didn't nail everything the first try for sure. He had to redo a couple things.
Right. But do you get any musical influences from Jimmy, like where Jimmy like gives you some vocal ideas, anything like that?
Not really.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jimmy's definitely, the drums and the riffs, he has a lot to say, and basically the structure of the songs come a lot from him. So
yeah, a lot of guitar riffs that are on the album are based off of Jimmy's. He'll come up with a drum pattern and start playing it, and then we'll come in with a riff like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool, and then we'll come up with a riff to match his drums, which is kind of ass backwards for a lot of bands. Usually it's the guitar riff, and then everybody else kind of goes after that.
Yeah.
So,
Chris, I'll start with you individually. What are you most proud of about Broken Ends? Is there a part that you really enjoy? Part that maybe you played, maybe a lyric or vocals that you really liked? What about this song do you like the most?
I think that middle section, that middle section breaks down a lot for me, as far as just constantly keeping you guessing. It's not just one riff all the way through; it changes the whole time. I really like that. So that's probably what I'm most proud of on this song. It's that whole middle section.
Gotcha. What about you, Jimmy?
That main
Jim's
riff,
guitar solo.
you better say the main riff, Jim.
what's that? The main riff is like carries the whole joint right into how that like went from just farting around to being like the focal point of the song. That part came out awesome.
Well, yeah, and Mike, you might have wrote that riff, but Jimmy's the reason why it became a Gizmachi song.
Remember that
Very much, because I was just
mad.
it was like one of those
Yep.
noodling at the beginning of practice riffs.
Yep. Then I played the '80s fucking freaking Will Calhoun over it.
Yeah, and I was like, "Yeah, you like that?" And he's like, "Dude, shit, do it again."
Yeah.
Or like, all right, he
playing
got
it.
pumped about it, and that's pretty much how that song started coming off the ground.
Keep playing it.
Good.
And usually Jimmy became the person in the band that if he thought something was cool, we were like, okay. Because sometimes I'll come up with a part or think something's cool, and everybody like, dude, that's like mad 80s, that thing right there you like. And then, so if Jimmy comes out, he's like, yeah, that part's cool as hell. And it's like, all right, it's not cheese ball stuff.
I really sound like that when I say it. I guess probably.
Just watch this video back, and you'll hear it.
That part's cool as hell. Yeah, I guess I do.
What about you, Mike? What's your favorite part of the song?
Favorite part of the song? Yeah, I really like that. I like the contrast of the bridge part of the song. I like how it's like real straightforward, 4/4 time, which is like, a little different from what we normally do. And then to have that bridge come in and it starts going all, progressive and getting like weird, and it makes it real contrasty to the rest of the song. And that bridge is with the prog element about it, it really sticks out more than a lot of other things that we do on the album.
Right.
And that the vocals on this one, being like more kind of chanty, you got that arena rock thing going on, it's different for us, and I like that. I'm proud of that about this song.
Yeah. What about you, Jay? What are you most proud of?
I'm pissed that nobody said the guitar solo. You sons of bitch. No, I'm joking.
No,
I'm joking.
No, I solo on the album, I would have to say.
It would normally be my favorite part of the song, but I mean, I'll say this, that it's probably technically my most like guitar solo by definition. But I think my favorite part of the song is there's literally two ridiculously great choruses in this song. And Bjorn sings one and Mike sings the other, even though like Mike's voice is in the other one as well. It's just not as,
prominent
as Bjorn's is for that first one. But I think that's really it. Those two choruses, man. It's like, wow. Like if you look back, was it Foolin' from Def Leppard? Like is that the song that there's two great choruses in there? Is it Foolin' or is it something? It's something like that. It's like, wow, how do you get two choruses in a song that are awesome? And I mean, obviously it's our music, so of course I'm going to think it's awesome, but to have two choruses like that you can really like sing along to and that gets stuck in your head. I mean, that's part of the reason why this is our first single, because you can really grab onto those hooks.
Yep. It's a hooky one.
But
yeah,
like Chris said, we still do Gizmachi in the middle.
Yeah, you do. Can we talk about that for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
My favorite part of the song, let me tell you. The bridge bending part, that's the shit. That is the, like, if someone asked me about what Gizmachi is, and that's the sound that you guys have that no one else does. So Mike, tell us a little bit about the bridge bending, how you do it. How do you like doing it? Do you think it's different? Tell me about it.
Well, that was more of I forget who did that. The first one I did, I think Jay might have did that first. Grabbing the back of the bridge. I think he wanted to play a song like tuned down. I think we were fooling around at practice, and he wanted to play like a.
Do you want me to tell you? Do you want me to tell you? Instead of I think, that was Jimmy. Jimmy remembers. I mean, I'll let you get back to what you were about to show, but the way it came about was there's a Meshuggah song, first track off of Nothing.
Yeah, that's it.
What's the name of it?
Tenga.
Yeah. All right. So I was goofing around at band practice, and I did the beginning of the song, and I was like, "Wait a minute, Jim." Guitar pick I do. I was like, "Listen." It's one of those, right?
Yep.
Jimmy's like, he starts playing the drum beat, and we're like giggling, because I'm like doing this with the with the bridge and shit. So Jimmy's like, "You guys should write a song like that." using that. I'm like, what? Doing this? And he's like, yeah, that's awesome. I'm like, all right. And the next thing you know, that part from Wandering Eyes came to be from that. But go ahead, Mike. That's the origin.
Basically what I was getting at.
Yeah, there you go. All right, next question.
Yeah, grabbing like and just grabbing the bridge, like just doing the open string, pulling it, with your left hand, crossing our arms, and doing it rather than just using a whammy bar like the traditional way. We thought it was cool, and like playing it and rocking out on stage was like, yeah, no one does that. I mean, yeah, there's bands that have that kind of sound with the bending, they had drop tune, just doing it with their hands on the neck and everything, but just doing it the way we did it with the grabbing the the back of the bridge and rocking that out. That's no one else does that.
And that's one thing I would have almost guaranteed people, like, not that we were anything, whoa, Gizmachi, but I thought that some other bands would have seen that, like, wow, that's a cool idea, man. We gotta, do something like that. And I haven't seen, I could be wrong, but I haven't seen anybody do that since we did it.
So,
yeah, it's a little gimmick.
Yeah.
No, it is pretty cool to see, especially when you guys are playing live. And when both of you have it kind of like straight up and you're just pulling on it and everyone's like,
hugging the guitar, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
No, that's awesome. So, everyone in the chat is going crazy because they really want to hear this song. And our friend, Jay's friend, OJ from Byzantine, just chimed in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, out of the two bands we've toured with, Gizmachi was our favorite.
Well, the other band they toured with was themselves. So there wasn't. Out of us and Gizmachi. So speaking, look at that.
There you go.
What do you know?
Yep.
So, since everyone in the chat has been asking, they want to hear the song. Some people haven't heard it, so we're going to play it now for everybody. But also, you can stream it. It's on iTunes, Spotify, Brazzers. It's on all the major streaming networks. So make sure you go out there, check it out, pre-order on iTunes, help fund Jimmy's beard oil, and then
that's baby oil next to the roll of paper towels next to his bed.
So we're gonna play the song "Broken Ends" by Gizmachi. Johnny, you ready? Now, Silent Bob.
All set. All right. Here it is.
Changes. You can turn
Damn.
Wow. What song is that?
Man, that band's the shit.
Big A.
And wait, Brian, Boner Jams. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, that's me. Yeah,
How
go
does
ahead.
it feel to be on that song yourself?
I'm trying. I don't even want to like talk about it because I'll get emotional. But it's awesome just to be asked to be on a song with you guys, and especially like Jimmy is one of my oldest friends. I've known him since we're, I think we're like 7, 8, right?
Yeah, something like that. We
When I
still
moved here from Chicago, so yeah, just to be on a song with him and Jay, you guys are like family to me. So to be asked to be on it was, really cool, and just to hear it and have me, an insurance agent, a baseball coach, and just a regular dude to be on a song with Bjorn Strid and you guys, man, I think OJ said it to me. It's like sometimes life is pretty cool, and it really is. So it's definitely an honor to be on it. So thank you.
Well, thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I was crying.
Wow. Yeah, I wish people could see us because that the bridge bending part on, take off my pants. I was going crazy. It's like Magic Mike in the house,
What's that? What's that, Brian?
That movie that you're in, right?
Oh.
That you're streaming at like 3 a.m. Connect to that Bluetooth downstairs. But anyway, Jay and Mike, we talked about it briefly, but you guys are playing 7-string Ibanez, correct?
Yep.
Why do you guys play 7 strings as opposed to tuning 6 down? Have you ever thought about going 8, like Meshuggah style? Any discussion, anything like that?
I always like the 7. It just feels good. If I put 6 in my hand, it feels like a toy. 8 doesn't even feel like a guitar anymore.
Yeah.
I just got used to playing the 7. It's like the right amount of strings for me after all these years. But started playing it, I guess we just kind of wanted to have a lower sound without drop tuning a 6.
Yeah.
Maybe Korn had something to do with that too back in the 90s.
Hell yeah.
Well, what's funny about the thing when we asked Mike to join, I mean, it's not often, you get asked to join a band and you have to buy a new guitar just to join a band. That's basically what it was. Like, he didn't have a 7-string guitar
No.
before he joined the band. So that's kind of weird. It's like, shit, these guys want me to be in their band. They should be buying me a guitar. You did it wrong, Mike. We should.
That's basically what happened, and then I had to pay you back. It took me about 3 years.
and then Ron with his car.
Wait, you paid me back? No, I'm joking.
Oh, we're paid up.
Yep.
Chris has diarrhea, so he'll be right back.
Yep.
I think he lost connection and/or had diarrhea. So I'll go with the first part.
Yeah. So this was Jimmy has my first 7-string. This was my second. This is the one that was all over the imbuing. Well, my rhythm guitars were tracked with this. Mike tracked his with his black one, and the solos were done with this. This one only makes a couple appearances on the new album. There's like I said, all the rhythms were done with the black and green one. But I mean, this guitar still is just amazing. It really is.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
But if you were going to tour right now, Jay and Mike, how many guitars would you bring, and what would be your main guitar? That would be your main, Jay?
Yep. Well, I actually have only two 7s, and this one has the floating bridge on it still. And, my other one has actually got a fixed bridge, and it's drop A. It's not tuned standard like B, E, A, D, G, B, E, like Gizmachi stuff. So this is the only one I have at the moment that's got the floating bridge still. So I wouldn't even be able to use the other guitar doing songs like, Wandering Eyes and Broken Ends. So,
right.
But yeah.
So Gilmore, playing bass. How many string bass are you playing? 4 or 5?
I'm playing a 5-string bass.
So when you get to the bridge bending part, what do you do? How do you record it? And how do you play that live? What are you doing? Because everyone's asking me in the chat, so I just had to find out.
So, when we recorded it, we actually detuned it. So we used the tuning knobs, we detuned it, and did it that way. Playing it live, I would actually have to bend a string. That's the only way I could do it, and make it make any kind of sense and keep in tune. So, that's a tough one for me.
I remember when because Chris and Mike both came down to track the bass guitar. Basically came down here for a mini vacation, and we also, tracked Chris's bass. And I remember when we were tracking that part, Chris played it how he would normally play it, like bending and stuff. And I was like, can we try something? I was like, hold on, just play the open note. And I think I reached over and I detuned the tuner for the low B string. Yeah. And it just sounded heavy as shit. And I was like, guys, it's the studio. Right. We can do that here and just play it live. If we play it live, we'll play it live normal. Play it live, do it live. But it just, if you listen back, which I hope everybody does, they go to, buy it or whatever, or listen to it, stream it. Listen to that part. It's actually Chris detuning and then, the tuning peg on the low B string.
Way too hard to do live.
Oh yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
You would walk over to a fan and be like, please do it for me. Just keep turning it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. James Gum said we could use a bass whammy pedal, which you could do that too.
Yeah. Right.
Then I think I saw there was a guitar cover of Wandering Eyes on YouTube. And I think the kid that played it used a pedal, right, Jay?
Yeah, I did see. If it's the same one you're talking about, it's got to be. Mm-hmm. But yeah, because I think he had a fixed bridge on his guitar, so obviously he wouldn't be able to do that. But right. No, it's cool. Some people might think that that's what we did. So whatever. But no, we actually, we get let me lower this so you can see my pants. But it's easy. It's easier to play a riff like this when you're standing up, but I'm not going to stand up right now.
Why not?
So so we don't use the bar. Let me get out of the way of my name tag there, but that sucks. Hold on. It's like that. You just 2 fingers under the corner. Look at me. Look like a weirdo.
I know you're a big fan of using 2 fingers, but do you make that face when you are also bridge bending?
No, we were doing this the whole time, freaking just losing it on stage. Just, I can't play and do anything right now. And it's cool. It's not just bending it down. We actually, if you hear that, we detune it. Then we go up.
So what when you do that, how low do you go? Do you go a step to A, or does it go a little further? Do you know? Have you looked to see what the note would be?
I don't know. Somebody figure it out. I'm not going to.
Yeah, in the chat, that's your homework assignment. Please find out when they do the bridge bending where that goes to.
It's 2 frets down. Maybe
yeah, it's got to be a step and a half at least.
It goes to P sharp.
Negative B.
Wayno wants to know, Jay, if you're wearing leggings. Can you stand up and show us, please?
Special for tonight.
There's 5150 in his pants tonight, guys.
Oh, I went straight past Bocephus mode, straight to 5150.
God, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Oh, I am. So is my wife.
So is your brother-in-law right now.
Yeah, he's got to give him back to the 13-year-old girl he took him from. So.
Damn.
Yeah, as soon as she leaves your bedroom.
Oh,
hey,
shots fired.
So the one thing that I really enjoy, not only just being on a song or two, actually 2 songs on this album, the thing that I actually enjoy the most is being a part of this text thread that every day there's several texts going on, a lot of ball busting, a lot of
Ball sucking,
Hurtful
ball
words.
sucking, a lot of inappropriate comments, which is really amusing. So just to be a part of that, thank you guys, because that makes my day. So thank you. That's a lot of fun. And the chat, I can't share that with you. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will. I got to chime in on that too, because I've known Jimmy since '96. Chris and I pretty much started the band with the previous drummer before Jimmy, literally back in that would have been 94, 95 when we started playing together. But
Yeah.
we got Jimmy in '96, Balls in what, '99?
99. Yeah.
So I mean, I've known these guys for so long, and we spend so much time together, and I still love them all. Like we still, like Brian said in the text thread, like we bust each other's balls, especially me and Mike. We hate each other when we text each other, but when we talk on the phone, we love each other.
Pretty
But
much.
no, it's cool to know these guys for so long. Chris and I in high school and everything, and we still get along. These guys come down and hang out on vacation and crap, and we still have a great relationship, and that's good.
Yes.
Absolutely. Jimmy,
Special.
when you were recording your drums
Mhm.
25 years ago, and I think it was in New York City with Jay.
Yeah, it was Queen.
2010. Right?
Yeah, 2010 in March, I think, or something.
Yep.
It was cold as hell. I had to stay at my friend Joe's apartment in Astoria, and then we only had 7 days to do it. And
7?
Was it? It was a week, right?
No, it's 3 days.
Really?
Yes.
Damn.
Are you sure about that? I felt like it was longer too.
No, it was 4 days. It was going to be, and then we ended up getting it done in 3.
Oh, well, that makes more sense now. Yeah, I thought it was a week. Whatever. I just remember seeing a lot of chest hair in Joe's sink.
Yo, it wasn't chest hair. It was around his toilet bowl. It was ball hair.
Him and his brothers.
Dude, I remember the first time I went there to go to the bathroom, I was like, I think I'd rather hold it all night than pee in this toilet.
Pretty good.
Man,
And it was 7,000 degrees in there.
you come out of the bathroom, it's like,
Yeah, it sums it up. Yeah, it was. We had to haul ass, I guess, because originally we were supposed to record it in your studio or whatever at home. Like, we got 10 years to do it, or whatever. And then all of a sudden, Jay has a bright idea. Like, let's just do it. Let me pay a bunch of money and go to a real studio. And so it was goddamn.
well, if we didn't do that, we'd still be working on the drums.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, me and Chris were talking about this today, where it's like, I didn't have time to fix shit. It was like get it done, or that was it. So, yep, it was interesting. And then, Joe's car exploded picking up drum heads that one day. That was
We hit the biggest pothole I think that's ever been.
like Vietnam pothole.
A meteor hole was in the street in New York City. It was
Doing 80.
the car made it out of it.
I don't think. A week later, yeah, that was awesome.
So when you recorded the drums for, let's say, this song specifically, anything do you remember? Because it's so long ago, I know you have Alzheimer's, but anything specifically that you remember about that song? Anything that you had going in prior to for that song that you changed in the studio, or now looking back that you're like, I really like this part, and anything at all? Tell us about it.
Shit. For this one, I think it was pretty straightforward. Like we had this song's been around a while, so it was pretty much kind of almost like it used to be whatever, but 37 years later. Yeah, nothing really. Yeah, it was pretty straightforward, more or less. Kind of just the old shit with maybe a different drum fill here and there, different, but
100.
Actually, I had extra hi hats for this one. I did the stupid 2-pedal thing like an idiot, just whatever. That was like the only new thing, I guess, that was added to it.
Right.
Yep. So. Yeah.
And then you guys right now are recording a playthrough for this song to be released, aren't you? Aren't you?
Almost, yeah. Jay's the only one left.
Yep.
Are you gonna be wearing those pants in the playthrough, Jay?
I was thinking about it, maybe for the solo take when I have the camera on the headstock looking up the fretboard. Maybe I'll make sure that
The wang is showing.
yeah, yep, the package.
5150 silhouette during the bridge bending part solo.
Like, damn, is a girl playing that solo?
I saw Chris, you recorded your part today, right?
Yeah, I recorded my part today.
How'd it go?
It went good, actually. Brought back a lot of old memories of playing that song. I don't think I played that song since I've recorded it. I picked up the bass last night for about an hour and a half. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun recording the playthrough, though.
That's good. Did you guys do it in front of the green screen? Are you gonna have like pink shirts on, purple pants like Mike, or
the Friday the 13th Nintendo
That's
game?
right.
That's the shit. Yeah. Yep. It's right. We didn't do the other one not in front of the green screen, but
Well, you got time because I didn't do mine yet.
You want that shit to be out before next.
When's that going to be? A month away?
Yeah.
Well, we have 3 weeks until that needs to be out. So
I figure we'll space it out like we did the first record to the second record. Will be the single comes out, then it's 15 years, then the playthrough comes out. That's how I thought we were doing this. I wonder why you guys were hurrying up.
We're on track.
Jay, you have your outfit all laid out.
14 years. What are these guys? What?
You have your outfit all laid out for this. You and I have talked about more clothing lately than ever. I don't even want to talk about it again. But you're like, I'm wearing this. I'm doing this.
Well, I only said that because, never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, he only said it. Yeah.
I don't know if we should show everyone at home what we were talking about last night with the leather for the underneath for Mike, especially because he didn't want to do the leather coat.
Yeah, get a leather thong. Do that.
Maybe not.
I'll wear it reversed while I play the solo on the song. Ball wedgie.
Yeah, the thong going between the nuts.
Right.
Yeah.
And then a package holding your shit in the back.
No, but then you got to figure out which side the Doniker is on. Is it the left or the right? Which way would it?
Yeah, just tuck it in the top.
So Jay, you how was it producing your band's album? Was it easy, hard? Tell us about it.
Well, I don't want to. I don't think, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but I don't think it's possible for a band to produce their own music. I mean, maybe it was different because we had so much time to like listen back to these original songs that we recorded and kind of like think of like, oh, what if we did something else here? But I mean, personally, that's my opinion. It's hard to look at your own music from an outside perspective. So, I mean, we did the best we could do. I mean, it's not like we've discussed this. I mean, everybody had input on changes and any kind of music thing. It's not like I was like, no, it has to be this way. I mean, sometimes I'm sure these guys, especially Mike, will say that I'm like that. But there was nothing that happened that was only like, nope, it's got to be like that. That's it. Everybody kind of has an input in everything. So yeah, I guess technically, if you want to get down to brass tacks, I guess, but everybody has say in everything, except for Jimmy has his only say in his drums. He doesn't care what anybody else thinks.
You did,
except one song.
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy and I mean, if we weren't really close, we would have probably came to blows in the studio. I think Intervisions, the middle of Intervisions, there's a song on the record.
Oh yeah.
There's this long, kind of slowish, spacey part, and it's a slower thing. And Jimmy was trying to fit these 30-second note fills in, and I'm like, Jimmy, the talkback button. I was wearing the talkback button out that day. And there's a fill in that part that we kept, and Jimmy's like, fine, fine. Hit record. And he laid it down. And I was like, yes, that's it. And that fill, him pissed off playing.
Yeah, playing it like as hard as he possibly could, velocity all the way up on a fill where he probably could have been a little bit more, a little lighter.
Yeah.
But you hear his intensity and
you hear his pissedness. Man, it's there. It's on the album.
It's on the album.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, Chris talked about that today. Same thing.
What?
Me and Chris were talking about that today. The same thing where we only had a certain amount of days drums. We didn't have 18 years like everybody else. So, where it's cool that it was in 2010 and that's where it was. Obviously you can go back and be like, God damn it, I should have hit the snare weirder here. I should have put my balls in this tom harder. Something like that.
Yo, my phone's gonna die. I'll be right back. I gotta get a charger.
Go.
Oh, someone came prepared.
Yeah.
So in the chat, Gilmore, I'm going to go to you from Thrash Metal and Fun Riffs. He wants to know if Gizmachi is a weird tantric sex position. So he wants to know a little bit about the name. And I know you're big about tantric sexual positions, so I deferred to you for this one.
All right. It's something that me and Jay tried out one time. Only
just
one
once,
time.
though.
Back in high school, it hurt way too much. No, but it came from some science teacher in high school. And I forget the guy's name now.
Mr. Hate.
But there you go. Actually, Jay had him, and Jay's the one that came up with it. That we used it from.
Yep. Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, it's not, and it's weird. I remember there was because when Chris and I were playing together, started playing together, we were nowhere near heavy metal. Like it was more like you put us in the category of maybe like a Chili Peppers type of thing. Like there was a little bit of funk in there. Like Chris brought the funk aspect or the influence in. And obviously, when you hear us now compared to back then, it's completely different. So I remember us thinking, when we started playing heavier stuff, and then once we were like kind of thinking, like about to get signed, like, should we change our name? Like it's not really a heavy metal name, but maybe that's cool that it's not a heavy metal name. Everybody's got these, right off the bat, it's a heavy metal band with a lot of these names.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, I think it's a cool name. Some people might not think so.
So there's a poll in the chat,
yeah,
and they're 99% love it. So I'm joking. There's no poll there, but I just wanted to see what you guys thought. Jay, getting back to the production of it. Maybe I'm going to speak out of place here, but I know there was a period of time you would work on a song and you're like, Brian, I'm getting frustrated. And then you work on it and something would change. So either something with the guitar tone would change because you were changing something with either something with the drum or a vocal. Like you were just having a lot, I wouldn't say issues, but
always issues.
You were really frustrated. And I think what was like 2 years ago, year and a half ago, there was a discussion about mixing and mastering going to Mark Lewis. Why did you guys decide to go with Mark, and how do you feel? How did it come out? Was it what you wanted? Are you happy with it?
Well, let me start with the first part, and then I'll let somebody else finish it. Yeah, the original idea was for me to basically record the whole album, mix it, master it. And then, once everything was recorded, this obviously I started mixing stuff, and it's different. Like when a band sends me a song to mix or an album to mix, I can kind of hear the demos, and I already have a vision, and I can already hear how I want it to sound at the end. With our stuff, like everything was always changing, and it's our music, and let me try this. No, let me try this. And then you send a mix to these guys. And, it's not anybody's fault, but like, somebody be like, hey, well, what about this for this part? And then I'll get a text message, from somebody else like, hey, I'm thinking this. And then I was kind of getting pulled in 1, 2, 3, 4 different directions. And I was just driving myself nuts about it. And, a lot of it's my own fault too. It was like, because I was consistently chill. What about this? What about this amp? Let me try this EQ or this reverb on this. And then next thing you know, the mix falls apart. So I was thinking about possibly having somebody else mix it. And, I think everybody was happy about it. Somebody else take it.
At first I wasn't, because I was just like, oh great, it's gonna take another freaking 2 years. So like that was one of the main reasons. I was like, it'll be fine. Like I just kind of thought like maybe he didn't have like enough confidence in what he was doing, but then I understood, he's like, you know what, I'm just gonna second guess everything, let me just put this somewhere else and let's get somebody else to do it. And then for a second I was like pissed about it, and then all of a sudden I thought about it. I was like, you know what, I think that is a good idea, actually, having somebody else mix it, because then we're just going to like be at each other's throats. I mean, like someone that's accomplished mixes it, and you're like, okay, this guy's pro, he does it all the time, and he's done some good work, so I'm sure he's going to do a great job. And that's ultimately what happened.
Yeah, I think we really just needed a fresh set of ears, working on the music for so long. Just a little bit of fresh input, it went a long way, and he got it done better than anybody could ask for. So it made all the difference.
Definitely. The two pickiest people on earth when it comes to music that I know are Jay and Jimmy. So Jimmy, how did you feel getting the mixes back? Were you happy with it? Was it what you wanted?
Eventually, yeah. Like Mike was saying, in the beginning, there was some snare drum stuff going on that we couldn't really all agree on or something like that. But
because you wanted that Saint Anger sound, right?
I requested that specifically, yeah. And Jay actually sampled that himself. He took his shirt off in the bathroom and recorded it, but we didn't end up using it. It sucked, but you can't win them all. But yeah, ultimately, it sounds like you did a really good job. And like Chris was saying, you got a new set of ears on something that can kind of push past where you had to go to get where you need to be, type thing. So, yep.
And for a little bit of trivia, Mark Lewis, who's the guy who mixed and mastered the record, he was our guitar tech on Ozfest.
Yeah,
and he wears a 17 size flip flop.
That's true.
They're like surfboards with straps on them.
Well, with Jay and I were talking about when you decided to have Mark Lewis mix and master the album. It's kind of like Picasso. He would always be done with a painting and look at it. He's like, "No, I'm going to change this," and he would never finish it because he'd always find something he didn't like or always wanted to change. So I think from that standpoint, it was a great idea for you to. You were so involved with it. That was great for you to take a step back and let someone else do it. And finally, it's done. So
yeah, and I think a great thing with me too is like any of the songs that I've mixed or any of the albums that I've mixed, I can't listen to them from a distance. I can't. It's there. I'm always like attached to them, and I've heard them the whole way through. With this, I mean, obviously it's still our own music, so there's that. But like somebody else mixed it, and I'm able to, and especially the fact that Bjorn is on it, I'm able to actually partially listen to our music as a fan. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't, if I mixed the record, I wouldn't be able to do that. I would always be like, oh man, why did I do that with that part? Or I'd always be pissed about something,
So get rid of that.
Yeah. Super happy that Mark crushed it. He really did.
I read a interview recently with Terry Date because he just finished producing the Deftones last album. Mm-hmm. And he was talking, and he also redid the 20th anniversary of Reinventing the Steel. And he was being interviewed about, mixing it. And he's like, I don't listen to any of this. I'm so involved. I've heard it so much. I never listened to him again. When someone was asking him like about Walk specifically and like how huge of a song it is, and he's like, that's just a normal song, like when we were recording it. So that's good that you're able to step back, because Terry Date doesn't appreciate the albums that he's done because he was so involved with it. So that's pretty cool.
I can totally understand where he's coming from with that.
Yeah,
because I rarely listen to any of the music that I've done as far as like mixing or something. Rarely. I might listen to it for, after it comes out or something, but it's weird. Like I go back and listen and it's weird. It's just different for me.
Yeah. Jimmy, a question from Vista Late 1972. Jimmy, what snare or snares did you use on this album?
Ooh.
We just used one. It's 1987 Tama Grand Star. That there used to be a music store right down the street from my house, and they didn't really carry a bunch of stuff. One day, me and Dave went in there for I don't know what for, farting around. And, this big 7x14, Tom Grand Star. I was just sitting there. It was beat to shit and all messed up for $100. And
you got that snare for $100?
Yeah. Well, we also remember we had to go to the alto to get it fixed because it was all.
Oh, that's right. So, wow, because that snare drum is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yep. I think it's all birch or whatever, but yeah, that's my favorite one. And that's the only one we use on the album. This one. The last one was Babinga. The last album, 5.5x14.
Star Classic or something?
Yeah. Yep. But this one, I like this one better.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yep.
It's basically almost the Lars Ulrich snare.
Yeah, without the black hardware.
Without the black hardware, and wasn't Lars's like? Wasn't it deeper? You'll find it even deeper.
No, I think it was 7x14 too. Well, back in the 90s, I think.
Wow.
I think, but his was probably twice as much money.
It's like 14x12.
Yeah. Yep.
That Pyromania snare drum.
Electric.
So Jay and Mike, when you guys recorded your guitars for the album, what were you recording through? What amps were you using?
The different ones that ended up on the album.
Oh yeah, it was
we reamped. We took the tracks from like when we recorded them in 2007 or something like that.
No, 2010. It was a dual rectifier revision F or whatever the
rare revision from the dual rectifier that Mesa puts out.
Supposedly it's like the most sought after Mesa Boogie dual rec is that Rev F, and then it was the angle cab with 65-watt creambacks. Now obviously we don't have those. We don't have that amp or that cabinet, but the hands and the guitar, that's us.
Were there any songs on this album that you guys recorded or demoed that didn't make the album, or everything that you worked on is on here?
Yeah, everything we worked on ended up on it. Yeah. I mean, we had a bunch of stuff that we've had over the years that didn't make it. That stuff that we had, like even before we did the imbuing, that just kind of lingered around. A lot of stuff with clean guitar didn't make the imbuing. And it's something we've always done, like at least since I've been in the band, and even before I was in the band, always had a clean guitar thing going on. And a lot of the clean stuff, besides Voice of Sanity, didn't really make the imbuing.
Mm-hmm.
And the clean guitar is definitely back on this album, and I'm glad because it's always been there. I think it was on purpose, kind of got hexed from from the imbuing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Gotcha. So speaking of the imbuing, besides vocally, obviously there's a difference, but what direction did you want to change from the first album to this album? Was there something, like you just saying with the clean guitar, anything specific that you wanted to do, or?
I mean, all these songs, like what Jay was saying earlier, like from 2006, 2007, this was supposed to be the album that came out right after the imbuing, like 2 years, 3 years later. So all this material is like older. I mean, except for like a couple couple of songs, maybe 2008. You know, like,
yeah.
And then there's parts from like stuff from 2001 and 2003, you know, that we just kind of put in there, and even stuff from our first thing that we put out, that, you know, Melee.
Just like a riff or something, be like, damn, what the hell can we put here? Well, what about this riff from that song that, you know, we're never going to play again?
Yeah.
You know? It's like, oh, we'll take that riff. That fits perfectly.
Welcome back.
Oh, hey.
It's all old, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if this album came out in 2007, I think it's actually, how do I say this without sounding conceited? I think it's better off that it's coming out now. I think I don't want to say, man, this is going to sound terrible. I'm going to say it anyway. I think if it came out in 2007 with how it is now, people wouldn't have been ready for it. I think it would have just kind of like skated by, and it wouldn't have really, not that I think this is going to do anything crazy either, but I think it's going to kind of maybe work better in this day and age in how the metal industry is than it would have back then. How about that? Does that not sound like a total ass
stroke? What a stroke.
I don't know how else to say it.
No, it makes sense. It does.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would have worked in 2007, and it definitely works now too. So that's how Jay feels about it. I guess I feel a little differently. I think.
What? No. Let's start texting so we can hate each other.
Jay, what and I know you're digging this. What does Omega Collide mean?
Well, when we were talking about names for the album, we kind of collectively knew that this would be our, you know, as of when we were discussing this, like who knows what the future holds. But this is probably going to be our last album that we make, right? So we wanted something to kind of signify like the end of whatever this is. So Omega. And then, you know, I kind of consider our music, you know, we have a lot of different elements in our music. You know, there's obviously the heavy stuff, you know, the polyrhythm stuff, or the, you know, odd time stuff. And obviously the very melodic vocals, and we're just kind of a lot of different things going on. So you can kind of think of like a kaleidoscope of different musical elements. So I remember looking at the word kaleidoscope one day, and I was like, wow, collide. It's kind of neat. Just taking the first half of the word. And then I remember I sent two different versions to the guys. I was like, Collide Omega or Omega Collide. And they all picked Omega Collide. And I was like, that's kind of cool. Like the end of, you know, I think it's a pretty cool album title, personally. Yep. And I think Tim Buell, the guy who did the artwork, kind of nailed it with the album cover as well. So there's that.
Absolutely. Everyone in the chat, if you're here and you haven't hit a thumbs up, shame on you. Please make sure you do that. But what else, guys, can we expect from Gizmachi the next few months? So we'll start with Jimmy. What else do we got?
Well, I think the album has to come out next year, right? There's that. We're doing the playthrough for Broken Ends. That'll be December something. I forgot what the deadline you gave me was.
I think the 18th.
And there's something after that. I forgot something about a video and something.
You would swear that text thread that Brian talked about earlier. You would swear that Jimmy wasn't a part of it.
You know, it's funny. I'll tell you a story about that today. So it's like one message will happen, right? I'll put my phone down for 10 minutes and then I'll look back, 270 messages, and it's Mike and Jay yelling at each other like little girls. So I'm like, I don't need to read 4.5 hours of text. So like, it's like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, the usual. But you know, I get informed when I gotta get informed.
Yeah, I'll be like Jim, when you getting on that? Like, getting on what? Like the thing we were talking about in the text thread. I ain't see nothing.
It's true.
You just explained why.
Yeah.
It's because of you and me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we got another single coming out. What, January?
Yeah,
End of
January 19th, I believe.
Followed by a video in February. Followed by the album release in March.
Speaking of videos, though, is YouTube like, what's the deal? We don't know yet. Yeah.
I've been trying, man. I've been trying every kind of email address I could think. If anybody watching works for YouTube or Google, please let us know, because we can't get into our Gizmachi YouTube channel. We can't do it. I tried. Johnny hooked me up with a YouTube help thing on Twitter that they're not actually YouTube or Google employees. I don't know how that works.
Right.
Yeah.
So next month, late in December, we have the playthrough coming out, right, guys?
Yep.
January, the end of January, the next single comes out, right?
Can we reveal what that is or not yet?
And then in February, there'll be the video, not a playthrough, a video that Jimmy is working on, right? Jimmy, you have an idea already for the video? So I think if people in the chat don't know, Jimmy makes a Halloween movie every year. It's Bare Bones Cinema. Go check it out.
That's right.
Jimmy is super creative, so the video is going to be fantastic.
We'll see.
No, it will, as long as you keep your pants on this time. And then
the storyline, yeah.
And then in March, the album will finally be out in full. Mike, real quick, tell us about the next single. I know obviously this single just dropped. Anything, 2 sentences about the next song that everyone's going to hear?
The next one is the first one we actually got back from Bjorn. He crushed that one immediately. No do-overs. That one's, a barn burner. It's probably the heaviest song on the album. It's also very straightforward as far as not too much odd time stuff on that one. It's the shortest song on the album, but it is probably the heaviest song on the album. And I'm not even on that one vocally, I don't think. And it's just all Bjorn, and it's pretty ass kicking. Yeah, all I could really say about that one.
Absolutely. But from now until the album is released, Jay, is there anything specific that you're excited about? Any part of a song, anything at all for the next few months that you're pumped about with this release?
I don't know. There's a part of it that's obviously I'm super excited to finally get this thing out, like I'm sure everybody else is. But there's a part of it that is, I would say, a tiny bit bittersweet, because like I said before with the whole Omega thing, the end, this possibly might be, the final Gizmachi release. So there's a small part of me that, it's not going to be that excitement, that Christmas morning or build up to Christmas excitement of like, our album's coming out, our album's coming out, our album's coming out, So yeah, I mean, I want everybody to hear it. I wish it was coming out tomorrow, but obviously,
just a tip.
I know. I'm hoping the closer the album gets and we start doing a little bit of promotion for it, and obviously maybe make some more fans in the grand scheme of things, because like we talked about earlier, 15 years ago, if you were 15 then, you're 30 now, you might have a family, and I know for me, I listen to a lot of the same music I was listening to then. So now if we could keep those same fans, and then obviously get the newer fans that are or the younger fans that are into this stuff, I think it's kind of cool. It's almost like 2 generations if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see what it does,
Yeah.
Exciting to see, what's gonna happen, not knowing. Hopefully people grab onto it. It'd be cool.
Absolutely. So everyone, make sure you go out, stream the song, YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. Pre-order it. Again, Jimmy needs some more oil for that beard.
I say not YouTube yet because we don't know if we
No,
can.
it's on YouTube.
Oh, that's right. Oh yeah, not the real shit though. That's like the other one.
Right, from the orchard. But I know on Monday there'll be more info out about this song, press release, and make sure you guys are checking your book face because there'll be some Gizmachi in your face, right?
Oh yeah, follow us on our social media. We actually do have a Twitter handle or Twitter page, but it was started in 2012, and there's only one post. Welcome to the official Gizmachi Twitter.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have no idea what. It's the same thing with YouTube. I have no idea what the email address that was attached to it. So it's on all these platforms right now.
Spotify.
Come on.
There you go.
Gotta
There you
yell
go.
at it. What's Deezer? Deezer nuts?
What's Tidal?
I think Tidal is Jay-Z's streaming service.
Oh, snap.
I'll
There you go.
remove that one.
You're welcome.
I'll take that one off. No, supposedly Tidal has like the highest quality streaming.
Really?
Yep.
Good to know.
Jay, as you're showing that, there's in the chat, SG said, I saw y'all when I was 13. Don't think Mike was in the band yet, and I still have my ticket.
Damn.
Really?
Wow.
We're going way back here.
Yeah, in the Wayback Machine.
Yep.
Definitely. So anything else, guys? Jimmy, anything else you want to share with the masses while you're here? We have 4,200 people watching you right now. And is there anything specifically you want to talk about?
Specifically, what was the deadline for that video again?
Better get to work on it.
Well, it's going to be out December 18th. So
Right. Okay.
we got some time.
There's a video coming out December 18th. That's it. Yeah. Well, not even a video, it's a playthrough.
Yeah. Gilmore, anything you got for everyone before we go?
Not really.
All right.
Hold on. Does anybody in the chat want to guess? Does anybody know what that map is behind Chris? I mean, there's something that's a dead giveaway, but
It's that big penis in the right corner.
come on, don't give it up. Yep, we got a winner. Winner!
Wow.
AJ GSCH Wind. I think he said he's a whatchamacallit, Kickstarter contributor. So thank you very much.
Yes.
And yes, we will be taking care of anybody that contributed to our 2012's Album of the Year Kickstarter campaign.
Yes. We got all your names. I think we updated all your addresses. And all your names and addresses will be taken care of.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
We're supposed to reveal the name of the next single. It sounds like I mentioned that when we were talking about it. Look what
Yeah,
I
go ahead.
found.
Go ahead, man.
There you go.
Absolutely. Jay, anything else for the masses before you're are you gonna be on tonight at midnight?
Shit, yeah. Yeah, and everybody, before we wrap this up, we want to thank Johnny, obviously, for letting us, come onto his channel and allow us to do this and help promote our stuff, which I think is super cool of him to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
And also like and subscribe, obviously. And Johnny we do scheduled shows on this channel. There's the Tuesday show with Neanderpaul, John Mancuda, and obviously Johnny. And then the Friday show with Johnny and myself, which we talk about 90% of the time, talking Van Halen, the king. And then there's the Saturday Night Live show, which is basically just a free-for-all of testosterone. I mean, if you want to just completely forget about your week and hang out with 6 stud muffins, and then, yeah, there they are. Can you tell? Woo! And then the last Wednesday of every month, is the we don't have an official name for it, but it's Metal Wednesday for now. Metal Wednesday, which is me and Boner Jams.
Isn't Winger your favorite band?
They're one of them.
Jesus.
I love me some Winger, man. Those first 2 records, first 3, shit, kill it.
Good drummer, great drummer.
Good everybody.
Kip Winger's solo stuff is actually all right.
So is the haircut. Yeah.
Never admit that again.
Huh?
What'd you say, Chris?
Hey, somebody has to have a shitty connection.
Yeah. Normally it was me, so thank God.
In the backyard. Yeah. Damn.
He's in Hyrule.
Oh, can I add something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
If anybody wants to see Brian get killed in a Halloween video, Bare Bones Cinema on YouTube with a Z. Brian's in it, naked, so it's pretty cool.
It's true.
Yep.
With Sean Snyder. So speaking
Don't say his name on here. Come on.
There you go.
Delete this video, Johnny.
Right now. So lastly, I want to say thank you guys. It's, I really enjoy being a part of this with you guys, and I'm really proud of you. You guys have done a great job with this album. I'm so excited that this single is out. So you guys should be real proud of yourselves. Music's great, and thank you for having me a part of this. So,
well,
thank you, Boner Jams.
Yeah, I think I speak for all of us when we don't want to get into details, but this album wouldn't be what it is without you. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll pop that shirt off. Yeah.
So, Johnny, if you want to bring the channel members on.
Channel members!
Again, if it wasn't for the channel members, we wouldn't have the Johnny Bean Network. So thank you guys. Halface, James Gum, Mancuda is a Dildo, 802 Blues, Mr. BHB Jr., Frag 5150, Pal Guitars, Dan Halen, Frank Corcoran, Bent Tom, Thomas Santiago, Brian Spalding, Fender Guru, Music Therapy Laz, Ghost BC Rich, Hugh Caldwell, Jim Nicholas, Jesus Raped Me, and Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael.
Also, we have at the end of the show, we have Green Charles, Fruitcake Tony, Michael Smith,
Captain,
David Ennis, Mike Neese, Mickey Settlemeyer, Joe Christian, Nicole Mrazek, Sean Bolin, Julia. Wow, I can't talk. Baldessari. Sorry, Julia. My man Wayno. Welcome. Garguts Entertainment, Sean Silas, Margaret Scranton, PA, Positive Flag, the one and only Carol Hatcher,
Jimmy's mom,
Crazy Cook 678, Bozique, Lenny Lou, and Dick Pool. So again, Johnny, thank you very much for having us on. We invaded your channel for the night. And so thank you everyone in the chat, and we'll see you guys soon. Gizmachi, get on it.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you.